I can't believe it. I cannot believe it, though, with my very own eyes. But there's actually an episode of Teen Titans Go that is actually decent. Hey guys, this is Dash Y'all Rose here. I am back to do another review. This time on an episode of Teen Titans Go. And yes, despite the show being very awful and having quite a bit of bad episodes, I actually found an episode that's actually good. Yes. But you know the drill. If you guys want to be notified for future reviews, then remember to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. That way you guys can keep up with my videos. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Now let's get on to the video. So Teen Titans Go is known for having a pretty mixed audience. Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of people are very mixed on Teen Titans Go. Some people, like myself, really despise Teen Titans Go. They really despise it. And this basically because the show is not because it's like not like the original, but because it has unlikable characters. It's just stupid humor. And you know, basically the characters don't stand out, have no personality, and you know, I could go on and on. But there's people out there that actually think the show is actually decent, and people think it's really good. But I gotta say though, despite me really despising this show, I actually found an episode that's actually good. And this episode is known as the Slumber Party. And I'm actually on the wrong title card there, but I'm actually supposed to be on this one here. But yes, I actually found an episode that it's actually decent. Now this episode isn't great, because as you guys can see here, it's getting 70 points. I actually meant to do the other title card, but this is what the title card was supposed to be, but I actually messed up there, but yeah, besides me messing up the video, I meant to actually do this, video a long time ago. I did. I meant to do this review a long time ago. Yeah, I do apologize for messing up the video, because I was supposed to show the score in the second screen, but I actually showed it first, so, yeah. But yeah, besides that flaw, I do think this episode is unique. I do think it deserves 70 points. Now, I have no sound effect for my videos, because my SD card ran out of space, and I have not had time to create a new sound effect for the scoring, so there will be no scoring. But yeah, I am sorry guys for that mistake. I'm trying to get better at that stuff, but yeah, but besides the mistake, yeah, I want to go ahead and talk about this episode here, because this is actually a pretty interesting episode. Now, the original Teen Titans did an episode like this, basically where, they start off fighting Control Freak, and they start out, fighting Control Freak, and then they end up having, like, watching a movie, and then this monster, like, abducts the Titans one by one. It's a pretty dark episode. It really is dark. But this one here, though, this is not as dark. This is more a goofy episode. This is more goofy. But I do think this episode is decent. I do think it's good. Now, the reason why it's getting 70 points and it barely hits the good area, because one more point and this would have been a meh. The reason why it's so low is because despite it being a decent episode, I do have problems with this episode. I still feel like the characters need to shout, like, all the time. that's a problem I have with a lot of the episodes. The characters are always shouting. They're always shouting like a lot of their lines, and it just makes it obnoxious. And and I mean the characters do yell on cartoons all the time. They did that in the original show too. They yelled a lot, but a lot of times like they yell all the time, and these are 11-minute episodes. So when they're yelling all the time and stuff, they yell. That means they're like yelling, throughout most of the episode. And yeah, that's one problem I have. Another problem is I do hate how they treat Cyborg like a baby because he's scared of the dark. I mean, just because you're scared, I'm not scared of the dark. I'm not really scared of the dark, but I know people have their own fears. And it doesn't mean you're a baby because you're scared of something. It doesn't make you a baby. It just means you're human, Everyone's scared of something, I mean, that's just how it is. And some people are so scared they don't want to face their fears. Like for me, I'm scared of heights. And I'll never like skydive off of an airplane or something like that, Despite, people saying you should face your fears. So sometimes it's just, sometimes people are just so scared of something they don't want to face their fears. Like me. But yeah, so Cyborg is scared of the dark because of, apparently, when he was little, he got put in the bathroom and he was, saying scary Terry, scary Terry, scary Terry, and he releases this like ghoul, and she's like a ghoul looking thing, and it's honestly, I think it's like a reference to something, like it's a reference to a horror movie, I think, but I do like how the Titans are at least trying to help him get over his fears. I do like that, and they do have some moments where like they do pranks and stuff, and it's not very unlikable. It's just them having fun. I'm not saying you should TP stuff, and all that, but they're not being very unlikable. They're just having fun, I'm not saying TPing statues and stuff is considered good, but it's not to the point where you're questioning why these guys are even superheroes at all. There's some episodes in this show, like I freaking question and I'm asking myself why they're even superheroes at all, consider they do all this horrible shit to people and themselves. But this episode, all they do is like TP people's house. I mean, well, not people's house, like a statue at Batman's manor and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I do think this episode does do well at, help the Titans helping, like they're helping, Cyborg get over his fears. And I really like that a lot. I really do. I think it's great. Again, it has its flaws, and that's why it's getting a low good, but I do think, again, it's a decent episode. It shows that this show can do good stuff. It's just most of the time this show is like obnoxious and just the characters being assholes throughout the entire episodes. Either that or the humor is just so stupid it makes your brain rot cells and stuff just watching it. But this episode is alright. I think it's an alright episode. I do. And I know when I did a re-review on this show, I did both, like, 2 different reviews. The first one was kind of sloppy a bit because I had to redo it because a video messed up. I had to redo it. I still actually have a video of the original recording. It wouldn't let me like upload the video or something, but then I like redid it and it was all sloppy, and then I redid it again. I think the re-review one's better. I still would recommend checking out the original review too, because I did talk more about stuff in that review of the show. But I did not, even in my re-review, I didn't stumble across some episodes I've seen of this show that are just awful or just middle fingers. Well, there's going to be some episodes I'm going to be reviewing that I actually haven't seen in a long time. Or haven't seen at all. Like, there's this episode of Teen Titans Go where they have Christmas and stuff. That'll be a review I'll probably do more around December. I'll probably do that. But I've heard some bad things about that episode, and I want to see it for myself. But this episode here, unlike some of the other ones I've seen, this one is actually decent. This is actually one of the episodes I watched when I did the review. You know, when I did the review on the channel, the re-review. I seen this episode, and I figured I might as well review it by itself. But yeah, I do like some things too. I like how we have, we also have, Robin's fort, which looks pretty cool. It's really cool. I just feel like, though, again, the main problem is I feel like a lot of these episodes also feel rushed because it's only 11 minutes long or something, but I don't really know, but I really don't know why, but yeah, this episode does feel a little bit rushed because it's like 11 minutes long, but I still think, even besides it feeling rushed, the characters shouting at it a lot of times, and, Robin and other characters calling, Cyborg a baby because he's scared of the dark. I do think this episode is decent. But I really don't have a whole lot else to really say about this episode. This is kind of a short review, but there's not really a lot to say about it. I do think it's decent. I gotta say, too, like, the monster, like, Terry herself, I think her name's Terry, because I think it's based off of a horror movie, but I don't watch horror movies. I that's one fear I don't have. I'm not really as scared of horror movies. It's more so I don't like them because they all end kind of the same way. Where the story kind of goes the same way. Where like a freaking sociopath maniac goes and kills people individually one after one, and I'm just I just feel bad for these poor bastards. They get fucking killed by a damn monster. Hell, I seen Rose Red, and that movie was a little scary, but I felt more just bad, especially the woman at the end who gets killed and stuff by the freaking ghost. I just feel so bad. But yeah, I do not like horror movies. I will probably never review horror movies on this channel just because they're just freaking sad and they're somewhat scary and I don't want to watch them, but yeah, so but yeah, that's kind of why but I do know about this horror movie. I do know that it's based off of a horror movie. There's actually a show that I have seen where they actually did something like this. This is not a horror show. This isn't like The Walking Dead or something. Well, The Walking Dead, even that's not really I don't know, would you consider The Walking Dead a horror show? I really don't know. But personally, in my opinion, The Walking Dead is more, I feel like it's just a sad show, because it's it just feels like it goes on for several seasons and stuff. Yeah, it goes on for several seasons and all that, and I just feel bad so I don't really watch that show either. But I have seen the one where these two brothers are going out and like hunting monsters and stuff and all that, and ghosts. It's actually a pretty cool show. So I do watch shows like that. I just don't watch horror shows. But I don't know what else to really say here about this particular episode. I know I kind of went on more about talking about horror stuff towards the end, but that's kind of what what Terry's kind of based off of. She's based off of something from a horror movie, but they make it kind of more goofy and stuff, But I don't really have anything else to really say, so I'm gonna go ahead and let things go from here. But I'll see you guys all next time. Remember, guys, to check out my other reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I tell you guys, I have done other Cartoon Network reviews too, so check those out if you guys want. And anywho, see you guys all next time. This is Dash All Rose out.